Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. I am your host at the Sham Irfan, and today we have a special program called On Soul Fuel episode 5. The program today, mashallah, is Man versus Mountain Challenge, or you can say Ultimate Hikers Challenge. In our studio today, who are going to be talking about this challenge is mashallah brother Shabir Hassan, who works with youth and vulnerable people, and we have Imran Hussain, mashallah, who's well-known hairstylist. Mashallah, he's got his own business, I believe, Imi's Barbers. Yeah. Okay, so they're in our guests, and I believe they're going to be taking on this challenge. So they'll have plenty of, and I've got plenty of questions to ask them. And for you, my viewers, as you can see, that you've got an opportunity as well to ask them. The lines are open, and the studio line is 0161 351 9185. If you've got any questions for our viewers, mashallah, please phone in and you're free to ask them anything about this challenge that they're going to be undertaking. So I'm quite excited actually. I want to know, Shabir, what is this challenge? What is this whole challenge all about? Can you just tell me?
Right. Alhamdulillah, we've got an opportunity to do this challenge for charity purposes to relieve poverty all over the world. And the challenge itself is very daunting because when we say man versus mountain, it's just basically they think, okay, they're going to climb a mountain, and many people in the UK climb Mount Snowdon and Ben Nevis and Scafell Pike, which is in the Lake District. But these are the three heights: England, Scotland, and Wales. So they think that, okay, I've done this before, so it's pretty easy. What's the challenge about? But then I don't think people realize the extent of the challenge itself. So for example, there's the mountain we're going to climb, which is Mount Snowdon, but before that there's an 8-mile trek. So before the mountain itself, we're doing 8 miles. So anybody who does just 8 miles on a flat surface, after the 8 miles, they're really, really tired.
Well, if the weather's like this today, then I think it's going to be very, very difficult.
Yeah. And then after that...
Right, I'll just interrupt you at the moment. Mashallah, looks like we've got a very enthusiastic live caller. Can I... Assalamu alaikum, just going to give me your name and what question it is that you want to ask. Oh, looks like the caller has got scared and the call's been dropped. So what were you saying about the challenge? So it's an 8-mile walk. So you're going to get tired already.
So 8 miles, like for a normal person to walk, might take them a few hours to do. So maybe 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours to do. And then on top of that, when they reach to the foot of the mountain, it's a 9-mile climb upwards onto Mount Snowdon. And there's many youngsters that have gone up there and they have literally, I've been up there as well, but not the whole challenge. I only wanted to see the mountain, how the mountain was itself, the climb itself. And there were youngsters that came from, different cities and towns, and halfway up they were actually sitting down saying that they've had enough, young fit lads.
Wow.
That's what it was. And
well, then the next question comes into my mind. What's motivated you to do this?
Well, the challenge the challenge itself, is not just a mountain. So it's 8 miles mountain towards the mountain.
Walk towards the mountain. That's 8 miles.
Yeah. Then it's a 9 miles mountain climb, which up and down took me, last time I went, about 4.5 to 5 hours with rest as well. And then as you come down the mountain, there's a abseiling. You put abseil down the mountain, and then there's like a bridge where is a 30-foot jump into the lake. So you swim across the lake, which is about 30 to 50 meters across.
Which is like an open swim water challenge. Because
So is that something that you have to do as well, part of the challenge?
Yeah, that's part of it, because what we've got to do is...
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, carry on.
In one sitting, or whatever you want to call it, we're climbing up the mountain, coming back down, like halfway down or something, then we've got to do like an abseiling thing, and then after that we've got to jump into the water with a 30-foot drop. It's testing like your courage, your skills, or whatever, you know what I mean, whatever you want to call it, just to do all that, So
on average, how long does it take to do a challenge like this?
Well, I've not finished yet. So then after that, after we've swum across, imagine we're all wet and everything, then it's a 5-mile trek back to the finish line with a massive hill. Incline is so high, we've got to climb up that hill to finish off the event itself, isn't it? And we did the marathon. We did the marathon in 2019. We both did it. We were roommates as well.
Okay.
And that was hard.
Now that was tough.
Yeah.
Like, see, me and Brother Shabs, we've both done like a 26.2 mile marathon.
Yes, I remember.
And then shortly after that, I did the bike ride from Bolton to London. Now that was like solid cycling for 3 days non-stop. But then it makes you think, like with the last challenges, what we did, that was like for water wells and stuff like that over in Tanzania.
Yeah.
And stuff. So, I know it's tough, but it's not as tough as for the people who've got to walk miles and miles just for water and that.
Okay, so obviously the cycling and you've done your running, but for something like this, how do you train? How do you train yourself? I mean, considering your ages.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be at that time next month, just a few weeks short of my 48th birthday. So
Masha, we've got Uncle Kabir Hassan. Sorry, I didn't pay you respect.
And how old are you?
Well, I've got the Peter Pan syndrome, so I've never grown up. You know what I mean? So I can't talk to you about my age. No, I'm 39 now. And to be fair, it's nice just to get up there and feel as if like you're still 21. You know what I mean? Because you can't be a cabbage and just sit on the couch in front of the telly all the time. I know we all go to work and stuff like that, but you've got to.
How did you train? I mean, obviously, when is the event?
3rd September, which is about 3 weeks' time.
Right. So if someone wants to say take part in this and they're listening to this podcast and thinking, you know what, I want to take part, can they still?
Yes, they can.
Of course,
Someone like me that's done no exercise for ages, long time.
Well, they've got 3 weeks to train. So if they train right,
3 weeks left.
If they want to join in now, there are still a couple of spaces left if they do want to join in.
Okay.
So they can contact us, or they can ring the studio line, whatever, or they can contact us privately. And inshallah, if they're interested, we'll point them in the right direction and we'll get them the tickets as well. So there'll be a few spaces still left if they want to do it. And if they think, I've not got enough time to train, majority of the training is in your mind. Right, you get me? So obviously there's the physical aspects of it, but a lot of the times people give up there. When they give up there, this is, I mean, he did the marathon, I was just shocked. He did the marathon with no training, I mean, I did train for a good few months, but he did it with no training. So I asked him, because we were sharing the hotel room, I says, I'm a bit concerned for you. Didn't I say that? So I'm a bit concerned for you that, you've not trained and stuff for the marathon. How you can do it? He says, Shabs, I'm gonna do my zikr in the morning and then I'm up and running.
Which is like meditation and stuff like that. So to me, that meditation helps. I've been training for a change. I've actually started training for this event this time. My cycling, I didn't really train. Marathon, I just winged it.
But obviously not everyone can wing it. So
But
what? Yeah, go on.
Well, sorry, but because I'm like, because I didn't do training and I smashed it out like with the bike ride as well as the thing, but my body was suffering for months afterwards. Okay. So because of that,
just have to interrupt you there, Brother Imran or Imi. We have a live caller. So, mashallah, who's our? Can you give your name and what question you have for our two guests?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. What's your name, brother?
Alhamdulillah. My name is Sheikh.
Sorry, what name?
Sheikh Nazim.
Sheikh Nazim. Mashallah,
Yeah.
Sheikh Nazim. Allah bless you. What question do you have for our guests?
Oh, essentially, alhamdulillah, we're going through a very hot summer month. What advice would you give to people to maintain hydrated, and also what steps should they take to make sure that during these hot days they can still carry on and do the basics of the deen, as well as being, healthy and well.
Right, it's over to you. So it's hot, yes, and he's asked about being hydrated and how you can keep on training in these.
Yeah, so it depends.
Thank you, Jazakallah for your question, Sheikh Nazim.
Jazakallah, yeah. So it depends on individual person, because some people get really hot really quick and they can't handle the heat, and then there's other people that can handle the heat really well. So for the people who find the heat difficult, for them they can train in the gym, because in the gym they have the ACs and everything, so they don't have to stop their training. When I was training for the marathon, I thought the heat wasn't too bad. It was really hot as well, but because I had a backpack with a 3-litre water bottle inside, so you just put it into your mouth and you just take little sips of water.
It's like a hydration pack in it.
Yeah, hydration pack.
It's like something I can show you. Like it's like a little backpack like this, but it's got water inside it with a little straw running to the mouth.
So, okay, our brother was mentioning. So, in terms of obviously preparing for the, and then on the days of the event itself, what kind of nutrition would you recommend? Because obviously, Asian communities, people like myself, we eat our sal and roti. We like to eat our kebabs and things like that. So what nutrition would you advise?
Well, with that, I realised I don't know much about nutrition and something.
Nutrition.
but fruit dates. Fruit dates, almonds, nuts and stuff like that, they help. You can get these nutrition bars as well, which do help. A lot of people go for all these fancy stuff what you have before you go to the gym and that, but I can't have stuff like that. You just don't agree with it.
So who is this event for? Who can take part in it? Because obviously, is it for families? Is it or just for men? Or
no, it's
man versus mountain.
It's a unisex event. My wife's doing it with me. Brother Shabs' wife is doing it with her. There's other sisters and that who are doing it. So yeah, it's like a mixed event. And
so how do you fit this training? Obviously, mashallah, I know you're a very busy person. You help people in the youth community. You got your security, and mashallah, you're very busy in your business as well. So how do you fit? Or what recommendations can you give to?
Well, first and foremost, if you've got children, you need support, family support. So for your grandparents or somebody to look after your children, because, for example, as you mentioned about the nutrition, if you're going on a long haul, so you're doing 2-3 hours of training, then somebody needs to look after your children for 2-3 hours while you can focus on training itself. So in terms of that, grandparents or aunts, uncles, whatever, and they can get the reward for it as well. So while we training, they're getting the reward because we're doing it for a good cause.
That's contribution from them.
Contribution,
but to be fair, I'm quite lucky really because I can hit the gym for an hour a day. And even while the kids are at home and that, even if I'm getting on the skipping rope or, just doing sprints in the front of my, on my street, might look like a clown, but but I'm doing whatever I can take just to stay a bit fit.
Do your family take part in it, joining with you, your children?
Yeah, they've been out for walks and bits of running and stuff like that in the past with me, but mostly it's on my own at the moment.
Right.
Yeah, I do take mine on walks and stuff, not the shorter ones. So, for example, throughout throughout the week, you do the shorter miles just to keep your body lubricated, and then one day a week you have to do the bigger one. So you have to increase in your miles. So if you're, say, if it's a 3 months training plan, then the first week might be 2 miles, might be the longer one, and half a mile might be the shorter one. Then each week you increase to 4 miles, to 6 miles, to 8 miles. So the longer one once a week, then you need somebody to look after your children for like maybe 3-4 hours, even 5 hours sometimes.
Right.
So you're just on training. In terms of nutrition, if you're doing a longer training, then it's very advisable to take sugary snacks.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's sweets, dates, whatever, anything sugary to give you that boost.
Right.
You know, give you that instant energy when you're training as well. I think we should play that video of some of the.
Yeah, I was going to come on that.
Yeah.
Just to remind our viewers, the lines are open. If you want to ask any questions about this challenge, call 0161 351 9185. Yeah, so if you can go to that video, have a look what this challenge is about. So if you can,
some of the lads who are. My job, occupation is I support people with mental health issues.
My name is Rahim Khan, I'm 20 years old. I'm currently an apprentice studying management accounting.
This time we're doing man versus mountain, an 8-mile trek to begin with, and then it's a 9-mile mountain climb, Mount Snowdon. Then I think there's an abseil down the mountain, then there's a 30-foot jump into the lake, swim a little bit across, and there's a 5-mile trek back, to the finish line. So this will take about 9 to 10 hours. It's harder than the marathon, so we really have to train for this one.
The reason we are doing this is to raise relief funds for our brothers and sisters around the world. Your donations will provide essential food, shelter and other items.
My friends and family are really proud of me, of what I'm doing. They're really keeping me motivated, and they're really helping me in my fundraising as well. I think it's going to help people who are suffering in the third world countries, food, water, shelter, just the basic stuff that we take for granted.
Everybody get support in the Barg Welfare Trust, Poverty Relief Fund, Man vs Mountain Challenge.
mashallah, it's a beautiful video. Hopefully that's going to encourage a lot of our viewers to maybe participate. So just before I come on about the charity itself, if someone did want to train, is it individually you train, or do you help? Will you be able to help people train?
So,
like in the video we saw.
Yeah, so for example, some sisters have grouped themselves up, and they're training together. I train with my wife, so that, because on the day we're doing it together, and we need to know each other's strengths and weaknesses as well. But if anybody does want to come in, and there's 100% support for them as well. So anybody wants to do the challenge and they think, I'm going to find it difficult.
So we are willing to take time out and help others.
Help others as well.
Okay, can just interrupt there. So, say if I can't do the full challenge, is there like a quota? Can you do that?
Well, it's not trying to go past the limits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In life, you know what I mean. There's certain levels you can reach, but you've got to reach above that. People might want to say, "Well, go and touch the sky," but why touch the sky when you can go and reach out for the stars?
Yeah, it isn't possible for me. But evening, but then it's in your mind. Anything is in there. If you can see yourself doing it, you'll train for it. It's easier. You're going to get very easily motivated to play football, because that's your passion, isn't it?
Depending on how active you are, really. But then there's been people who've never done anything, and they did the marathon, with the bike ride as well. And there's certain individuals who are taking part in this event this time round. They've never done anything like this, but because they've put the mind into gear. This is why they're doing it as well.
Coming out their comfort zone and doing something
the thing
different.
is, you've got to explain to people as well, the reasons why we're doing it, the reasons why you could go on doing it is just to help the poor. Whether it's trying to put money towards a water well, trying to get people married off, for their orphans, or homeless people, you name it. And the beauty behind it all, it's 100% donation policy as well.
All right, okay, so coming on to that point,
Can I just talk about the thingy? The thing is, like for example, as you training, if you have this mindset that you want to help somebody, then the one thing that we did forget to mention was the help from Allah comes as well. You know, and this is the thing that we forget, that when we rely on ourselves, then we can't do nothing, because we're relying on our own selves and we are limited, while Allah's power is unlimited. So imagine that if you made a good intention to do it, then you can do it. And the proof is living proof that sisters, they're married with children, they're doing the event.
Okay,
you
so
know.
that's my question going to be is, I kind of touched on the beginning. Why are you doing this challenge? That's the kind of the key.
Well, hopefully we can play a video and that'll give you some insight to this.
See,
as well.
one of the reasons why I believe I'm doing it is because, first of all, it's a duty as a Muslim just to help others.
MashaAllah.
Not only that, as well, it's for the pleasure of Allah. The Prophet, peace be upon them, they helped people who were unfortunate and stuff. And not only that, I enjoy doing stuff like this. I like to be active. And,
mashallah, I can see you've been involved in a lot of events.
And stuff.
So this video, should we have a quick look?
Yeah.
What the video is, and I'm going to ask you, inshallah, more questions as to this topic. So keep all this in your mind.
Inshallah.
Yes, you got plenty to talk about. MashaAllah, brothers and sisters, you can see what a noble cause and effort that you're making for us, helping, as you said, that if you make that intention of helping others, Allah will surely help you. And if you adopt this in your lifestyle, in your life in general, helping others, definitely you see the help of Allah. So the Bar Welfare Trust, can you just tell me more about what this charity is about?
Yeah, Alhamdulillah. The Bug Welfare Trust was founded many years back by the Honourable Sheikh Ahmad the Bug. So I used to sit in his gatherings in regards to learning about the path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I went on some travels with him as well, and I'd seen how sincerity they were in many aspects, not only their kindness, their generosity, staying awake all night to do the khidmat of the people. And then when they announced the charity, the Bug Welfare Trust, it was like, because people do donate to different charities, but this was closer because closer to your heart, because the person, the founder itself. Sometimes you don't even see the people at the top, of the charity chain. You don't even get to meet them. But here you're meeting the person on a daily, not only that, daily basis, you're learning about the path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if this person is so sincere, and in regards to charity, they're all voluntary workers and everything, and the money goes towards the cause itself, and I saw this firsthand, and then I realized, this is the charity I want to work for, the Bug Welfare Trust, mashallah. So I've not looked back.
And not only that though, like with the charities as well, like they can, like, we get opportunities which we have to fork out ourselves. They don't come out the money for the charity or anything, just to go and see the work what's been done. So
right, that's what I wanted to ask you as well. So if somebody donates for you, mashallah, to do this, how would they donate, and what percentage does the charity take? This is a quite common question people want to know.
See, it's a 100% donation policy. So
I think it's
penny-
about 95%. There's that 5% is just for like the cost that you have to pay. No, it doesn't go in anybody's pocket. But sometimes when you say, for example, when you fundraise on GoFundMe page or whatever, they take a little cut and stuff. That platforms like that. So it is really 100%. But but in terms of there's a small admin fee. Nobody's paid work, or everybody's voluntary.
Right.
But obviously these fees are being taken by external.
So what kind of charities or projects you can say the Bar Welfare Trust are involved in?
Right. Okay. So there's Pakistan. You know the Bangladesh floods that had taken place, and
Tanzania as well.
Tanzania water wells. That's what we did the marathon of that, isn't it?
Yeah, the marathon. I remember when we did the marathon as well as the bike ride.
Yeah.
That was for Tanzania, the water wells out there.
Yeah.
But then we're doing work for Yuga and places like that as well, you know.
And you've seen the Pakistan floods, you know, so we've been collecting for that. And mainly it's not just about giving them food and water and everything, it's about to get them back on their feet again. So for example, if I was poor and I kept on asking you for money, in the end I'd feel ashamed to keep on asking you for money.
Yes.
So here what we try to do is we make you self-sufficient, so teach you skills, you know.
See, I've forgotten what the quote is. Like, if you give a man a fish, or if you teach him how to catch a fish or something, you know, I can't remember anyway, but you know, we're trying to teach people like, you know, skills and stuff like that as well, just go out there and fend for themselves.
I shall like help them with the business and things like that.
Yeah, so set them up so they can look after their own family and children, you know, because there's so much, if you give food to somebody, there's only so much it's gonna last. Then
so why not just do a fundraiser, like call someone for food? Why do a challenge and then fundraise at the same time? What's the hikmah? What's the story behind that?
Because
you see this quite a lot now.
Yeah.
People are, we're going to do, you know, a cycle ride. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Why?
Like for example, you have a son. Yeah. Now your son keeps on asking you for spending money.
Yes.
And say when you give it, after a while you're going to think, you know, this guy is just like taking the money and all that. But imagine if he cleaned his bedroom. You know, if he cleaned it and he put some effort in, and then he asks you for spending money, wouldn't you feel happy to give him the spending money more?
They learn about appreciation, then, don't they?
So for us, the more effort you put in, so the 22-mile challenge, which will take 9 to 10 hours continuously, the more effort you put in, the more people want to give. They say, look, these people are working for this. They're not just sat on the backside asking for money.
Sat on the couch.
You know, and I don't like doing that. I like to work for my money, and so does everybody. It feels so much better.
Because we don't want anything for free, you know. We want to put ourselves through like certain obstacles and certain...
So if someone does want to register, how do they contact?
Yeah, they can contact the number and leave their names and address, name and phone numbers, and then somebody will get back to them.
A lot of people are giving us cash as well as GoFundMe as well, you know, on Facebook.
Yeah, I can't see it. Where would they find the link? Is it obviously there's the studio line? Just call the studio, or is there any web page?
Yeah, so they can donate online, or they can go to the Bag Welfare Trust page. You know,
the Bag, DABBAGH.
Yeah, Welfare Trust page. And so if they Google that, they can go on there and donate straight away. You know. But we can play the next video in regards to when we talked about the water wells.
Yes.
And look what this young girl, you know, this really hit my heart. If you watch the video, inshallah, then we'll talk about that.
Yeah, inshallah. We're going to go to our next video, inshallah. So we can just play that, and then inshallah we'll talk further. Oh, look.
Hey, who, lay, no. Mana yang
Mashallah, it truly is inspiring to watch a video, and especially how blessed we are, all the blessings that we have.
Do you know how long it took her to get that water? 13-year-old girl, 8 hours of walking.
Allah, we don't appreciate.
8 hours of walking and not even getting proper clean water, filtered water that we get from taps. And this is where the money goes, helping people, because we instill in Tanzania, we put wells down, in the villages so they don't have to walk that far. And
I've actually remembered now because a friend of mine, she's just sent it on one of the comments on YouTube. If you give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, but if you teach a man how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. So thank you, Carla. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're trying to put things into place where they can live off it, really.
Obviously we're living in difficult, financial crisis, especially in the UK and worldwide. People are very reluctant to give these days. What?
Especially with the living crisis now here, with everything going up and that, but there's still a lot of nice people. Well, everybody's nice, but there's still people are trying to give, whether it's a lot or a little. People are still trying to contribute towards it, because there's still a lot of humanity left over.
Is there a particular amount or that you're hoping to raise?
Well, we've all got a certain target, which is £2,500
each.
Yeah. So I think I've hit just over £1,800 myself.
Mashallah. What yourself, Shabir?
I was going to say, but I'm trying to find the verses of the Quran. I've written it down, but sometimes when you're live, you can't find things. I've nearly hit my target, alhamdulillah. So
Hazrat Usman, they mentioned something in regards to when they give. I've heard they had so much money. They asked the Prophet to make to dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that they've got too much money now, and they don't want any more, in regards to that. Imagine that. And then the Prophet told them to the Nishmin that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned that in regards to the money to stop donating. Yes.
You know what I mean? So if he doesn't want any more money, then he has to stop donating. And he mentioned that, I'm not going to do that.
Yes.
And this is what happens is, in the Quran, is mentioned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the nearest mean that when a person donates money, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala compensates this person with a higher compensation. So imagine it was mentioned up to 700 times the amount back. The person gets risk. So it's the shaitan itself is making people think that, I'm going to go poor, I'm going to go poor, I'm going to go poor. But eventually, just think about it. Who is giving you the money in the first place?
Yes. It's karma, isn't it? What goes around comes around. See, you know what you give in this life, you will reap that reward, won't you?
Yeah.
And definitely, and it's not always about giving money, isn't it? Like, mashallah, you're giving your time, you're giving effort. So whichever way you can help, I think it's mashallah shows that if you've got time, for example, some people are sitting at home, they don't have time, maybe they can help. How could they help? I mean, how could people help if they can't give money?
Even by sharing,
how could they help?
Even by sharing it on the social media platforms and stuff, even that's a big help.
When people can share, they can ask their family, friends. For example, you haven't got any money to donate, but what stops you asking your friends and family and collecting money off them to maybe somebody else? I thought that as well. In my mind, who's going to donate? And then suddenly somebody's giving £300, and somebody's giving £500, and then you think, people do have money. It's not, and they're looking for a right cause to donate. People are reluctant to donate because they think that our money is going to go to the workers. the directors of the company of the charity, you know, they're probably earning 50, 60k, whatever.
These big fat cats, you know, like a lot of these administration fees and stuff like that. Like out of every pound, say 80 odd p will go into the back pockets. Whereas ours, it's pretty much 100%.
Yeah, because we don't have any workers, we don't have, you know, we don't have to pay wages. Everybody's voluntary.
Mashallah,
you know what I mean? So, alhamdulillah.
And obviously, this for some people, this project or this challenge might have come too soon. Are there future challenges, events that you've got organised and planned, maybe? And how would they register their interest in that?
Yeah. Again, we have the number there, studio line, and they can leave their details as well. If you want to donate or if you want to do anything, take part in the challenge and everything.
Just get on the Bog Welfare Trust page.
Yeah, there is challenges on there, and then there's, I think the next challenge is the dad and their sons doing like a 5k or 3k
Mums,
challenge.
dads and sons or something like.
Okay,
you know,
when are you planning that for? Because I would like to take part in that.
that's going to be. I think that's going to be. Is it like a 10k run or something? Or a 5k
No,
run?
3k, 5k. I think there's an option 3, 5.
Walk or run? Because I'm more tended towards the walk.
But when we say walk, it's up to you. You know what I mean. You've got to pace yourself out to your own ability, really.
Yeah.
And stuff. So because there's some people who go fast, some people don't. You know what I mean.
Yeah,
so
We are, you know, coming near the end of our podcast. I believe the sisters are going to be doing one soon.
Yeah.
I just wanted to. Did you have anything you want to?
Yeah, there's one more video we want to play. We want to show one of our brothers, you know, in Pakistan distributing food and stuff. So inshallah, we'll go on to the next video.
Yeah, mashallah, we'll play our final video, mashallah, before we end our podcast.
Today, madam, where this is a beauty of having a teacher like Sheikh Ahmad Dabak, because wherever you are, you try and help humanity. This is the teachings. So I'm in Pakistan in the village Tour, and today we're going to distribute rice, juice packs and chocolates to 100 less fortunate people. So whilst we can't end poverty worldwide, we can do whatever we can in our capacity. A lot of people are coming from UK, other countries, spending holidays in Pakistan. So I'll encourage them that whilst it's always good to spend money on ourselves, on our families, but also please do consider the less fortunate. You know, poverty, inflation is very, very high in Pakistan. So do think about the poor and do whatever you can in your capacity. Jazakallah khair. This is one of the other gems I've learned from Sheikh Ahmad Dabak. That wherever you are, always look out for the humanity, help those most needy, and try and do it with your own hands. I've seen them in Saudi Arabia distribute food with their own blessed hands. So this is one of the sunnahs of theirs.
Mashallah, another beautiful video. Before we allow our sisters, mashallah, to talk about the woman versus mountain challenge, and obviously we can, when we donate or give money, we know we can give it in sadaqah, for sadaqah jariyah. And you know, one person that I think we're all missing here today, mashallah, you know, a brother who's put a smile on so many faces, and I believe he should have been sitting here today, maybe conducting this, you can say, podcast, and he's, you know, mashallah, taken part in many charity events. It's none other than our brother Shafiq, mashallah, you might know him from Bolton, who's sadly left this temporal world and returned back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, you know, on this occasion, you know, I'm truly missing him, and I wish he was here so we could have been maybe talking to him as well. Is there anything that you want to say in regards to that?
Yes, mashallah, he was a very, very nice person with a very good personality.
He was an inspiration towards a lot of people. You know, helped a lot of people, always smiling, having a laugh and a joke, and he just tried to push people in the right direction. God bless his soul, you know. And I'd just like to say thanks for what he'd done for us. You know, thank God we had people like that in place just to try and like guide us as well.
Yes.
You know, towards these like righteous deeds. But I'd just like to say to everyone, if you think good things happen. So trying to donate as much as you can, and we'll get there one day.
Inshallah. What can you say? I mean, we all have to go one day, but mashallah, he was a very, very good person in that. And hopefully this whole event as well, especially my part, what I'm putting in, inshallah, I want to send out the Salih Sawab to our brother Shafiq as well. I'm sure everybody else as well. Inshallah. So,
inshallah. And,
yeah.
Like I said, one by one, we're all going to use one of the, you can say, one of the first few brothers that, mashallah, took part in the introductions and all these programs, and you have them fond memories. I remember sitting with him. You know, you have your own, we all have our own personal, you can say, meeting with him. So on this point, my dear viewers, we're going to, inshallah, end our podcast, and we'll give an opportunity for our sisters. The lines are open, so I believe the sisters are taking calls as well.
Yeah, the sisters are taking calls. So straight after us, there's going to be a short break, and then inshallah the sisters will come on, and they'll be talking about their challenges and their efforts that they put on, and
Allah reward our sisters, because we go to work and come back, and then we sit in front of the TV and eat our sal and roti, I keep saying. But mashallah, our sisters, respect to them. They have children, they have their own needs, women, mashallah. I'm saying,
and they even work as well.
They work as well, but they're not as I'm not saying not mashallah, they are physically fit sisters, but generally not as, mashallah.
Men are known to be physically fitter than
generally, yes. But I think, we could learn a lot from them. So do stay tuned for this as well, and you can learn a lot from our, mashallah, blessed sisters as well, inshallah. So assalamu alaikum, our blessed viewers.
Thank you guys for watching as well, and nice one.
Yeah, thank you very much for.
Jazakallah khair. And
if you is Imi, mashallah, he's like I said, is it Amir Khan's hair as well?
Yeah, I've done Amir Khan's hair. Yeah, I've done a few footballers as well. And stuff as well in the past.
Mashallah.
Yeah.
I don't have much hair, but maybe I need you to style it one day.
Hey, I'll do, mate.
Make some miracle grow. Thank you. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
فتاة الخير يا فتاة الخير 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 فتاة الخير يا أملا تنير مسير دعوتنا وتوقيد مشعل الإيمان كي تنجو بأمتنا وترفع راية القرآن تحدو ركب عزتنا وتسمو في العلا قيما وتحذو ركب سنتنا فتاة الخير يا أملا تنير مسير دعوتنا وتوقيد مشعل الإيمان كي تنجو بأمتنا وترفع راية القرآن تحدو ركب عزتنا وتسمو في العلا قيما وتحذو ركب سنتنا فشد العزم واصطبري
Allah, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Allah, how I need you. سبيل الدموع سبيل مريح تنهد يا صاحي كي تستريح وبث الدعاء الخفي الصريح يسعك الفضاء الرحيب الفسيح سبيل الدموع سبيل مريح تنهد يا صاحي كي تستريح وبث الدعاء الخفي الصريح يسعك الفضاء الرحيب الفسيح جمال الوجود بذكر
فتاة الخير يا فتاة الخير 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 فتاة الخير يا أملا تنير مسير دعوتنا وتوقيد مشعل الإيمان كي تنجو بأمتنا وترفع راية القرآن تحدو ركب عزتنا وتسمو في العلا قيما وتحذو ركب سنتنا فتاة الخير يا أملا تنير مسير دعوتنا وتوقيد مشعل الإيمان كي تنجو بأمتنا وترفع راية القرآن تحدو ركب عزتنا وتسمو في العلا قيما وتحذو ركب سنتنا سنتنا فشد العزم واصطبري
Allah, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Allah, how I need you. سبيل الدموع سبيل مريح تنهد يا صاحي كي تستريح وبث الدعاء الخفي الصريح يسعك الفضاء الرحيب الفسيح سبيل الدموع
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Soul Fuel, episode 5. I think it is. Is it right? Yeah, episode 5. So, obviously, this is the Ultimate Hikers Challenge, and we're here to discuss the actual challenge, what the Bag Welfare Trust is about. So, before I do that, I'd like to introduce the participants. If we could play video 1, please. And these are all the sisters that are taking part in the actual challenge, the up and coming challenge of man versus mountain, or should we say in our case, woman versus mountain.
فتاة الخير يا فتاة الخير 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 فتاة الخير يا أملا تنير مسير دعوتنا وتوقيد مشعل الإيمان كي تنجو بأمتنا وترفع راية القرآن تحدو ركب عزتنا وتسمو في العلا قيما وتحذو ركب سنتنا فتاة الخير يا أملا تنير مسير دعوتنا وتوقيد مشعل الإيمان كي تنجو بأمتنا وترفع راية القرآن تحدو ركب عزتنا وتسمو في العلا قيما وتحذو ركب سنتنا فشد العزم واصطبري.
Mashallah, so we've, as you've seen, there's many sisters that are taking part. I think it's
13 in total.
13 sisters altogether that are taking part in the actual challenge on the day. So, sisters here that I've got here are Sister Saika and Sister Arifa. If you want to introduce yourselves.
Yeah, so I'm Saika. I'm one of the admins on the Woman vs Mountain Challenge, but I'm also been roped into being one of the participants. Normally, like I said, I'm a background person, so up front today.
Yeah.
And then you've got Sister Arifa here.
Assalamu alaikum, I'm Sister Arifa, and I've been doing ulama classes for the past few years, teaching ulama classes. I'm also an optometrist and really excited about this challenge. Really, it's definitely like a bucket list activity that I wanted to cross off.
Definitely, it's one of those biggies, isn't it? Yeah. So before we start actually talking about that, let's discuss the challenge, this woman versus mountain challenge. You know, I want to know the what's. You know, what is the challenge? What does it entail? You know, and it's something that the sisters have been allowed to do for the first time, as part of this organisation. So it's a massive thing for sisters to take part in, isn't it? So if you want to tell us a little bit more then about the challenge.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, it's a blessing in a sense. like you said, it's the first time sisters have been allowed to take part in it. But I think there's a lot of misconceptions about what we're doing. A lot of people think, oh, we're just going climbing Snowdon.
Yeah.
And like we were saying earlier on, people think, oh, you know, my kids have climbed Snowdon, I've climbed Snowdon in my flip-flops. It's nothing, you know, it's a walk in the park. But in reality, if you think about it, what we're doing in the best way to summarise it is it's a bit like a marathon but on a mountain.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, we're doing a 22-mile hike, which includes scaling Mount Snowdon. So to actually put it into perspective or reality of what it is we're training to do, it's a 6-mile trek or run to the foot of the mountain.
Yeah.
Then there's a 10-mile hike up and down the mountain, and then you've got
we've got the abseiling, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've got the abseiling.
Yeah.
And then we've got the jumping in off a 30-foot. I don't know what it is.
Board into the lake.
Board into the lake.
There's a 25 metre swim. And then they've got this thing called the 1 kilometre quarry climb, vertical quarry climb, and that's meant to kill you off because it's as steep as hell.
That's if you're not already dead.
Yeah, and then, you know, once you've done that, there's still another 10-15 minutes or 20-minute run to the end of the finish line. So if all of that's not finished us off, you know, I'm sure that will last.
Would,
yeah, so it's not just a simple climb up Mount Snowdon, you know.
The outdoor, that's what makes this. It's a proper grueling thing.
I think the other thing that makes it a challenge, probably didn't even walk down.
You know, how
our procession to the guys and you don't actually realise, like, when you
sisters put the name, you know, a big challenge like.
Able to achieve it. The reason why I take that eating healthy, but now
So the training going in what's big, inshallah.
But just at the gym, they've been out in the miles, then we moved miles.
But you're not just walking like climbing mountains, but obviously smaller ones.
Yeah, so we're kind of hitting areas like Dovestone, which have high elevation, Winter Hill, because in reality, when we do this challenge, we're not going to be out on the roads walking on flat ground. We're going to be on hillsides, and to put it into perspective, the highest elevation or the steepest hill we've walked up is 1,650 foot. Yeah. But the elevation we're going to hit when we do Mount Snowdon is I think it's in total 5,055 feet.
Yeah. So
it's a big gap even with this training. In reality, all we can do is try to prepare ourselves, but without the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, none of us are actually going to be able to climb this mountain, because like I said, we're not built to be hikers and we're not built to be mountaineers. There's only so much we can try, and then the rest of it is reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to get us through this, because like I said, none of us in reality are capable of even climbing any mountains at all, especially, you know, in such a short time frame that we've had to train for this challenge. We've had 3 months. So even for sisters to go from
I'll have to stop you there because we've got another I know you could. We've got another caller coming through, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Hello, what's your name?
Hi, my name's Halima.
Halima, mashallah.
Yeah, I would just like to ask, how old do you have to be to do the man versus mountain challenge?
How old do you have to be to do the man versus mountain challenge?
You need to be minimum 18, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because it's not a challenge that's easy. It's 22 miles, but alhamdulillah, we do have something that younger children can take part in. The brothers mentioned it in their podcast, and it's the Mums and Dads 5k walk. Yeah. So if you want some more details, if you just leave your name and number with the people on the telephone line, inshallah the sisters will get back to you. We'll give you the details for the Mums and Dads 5k walk, and inshallah you guys can join that and raise funds and be a part of this project through that as well.
Okay, jazakallah.
Assalamu
Okay, so let's go back to why do you think it's important for sisters to have a chance to participate?
Yeah, I mean, from an Islamic perspective, it's the fact that women have always been there. Even if they're not at the front line, they've always been there supporting. So if you look at the Battle of Badr, we look at the Battle of Uhud, we're in the blessed month of Muharram right now. If we look at Karbala, it's the women and the children used to be in the tents during the battle, supporting their husbands, supporting their brothers. So if you look at it from that perspective, women have always been there. And so I think it's a great opportunity for women because you don't actually realize how strong you actually are. You always think, oh, these opportunities are always for brothers, they're always for men. You don't actually realize that, you know, maybe I could do it myself as well.
That's it. It's opened the doors, hasn't it, for women to actually sort of like say, no, I want to try it, and I want to take part in something, something
and I think
big
a lot
like
of
this.
us didn't even think that we were capable of something like this.
Definitely, definitely. Like Saika was saying, like, you know, we're not built, we're not built for this. But alhamdulillah, we're doing it and we're training hard and we're trying and we're gonna do our best. Then inshallah.
And I think why it's important for Muslim women to do it as well is to break that taboo. Like hiking is actually a sunnah. So when we were out hiking, I remember we were struggling one day on one of the hills, and I remember saying to the sister, "Oh look, we've got a hiking stick, and it's very similar to Hazrat Saab's staff."
Yeah.
And we were like, "Oh yeah, it's actually a sunnah to hike." So it's a revival of a sunnah, but also it's the fact that women are used and portrayed in the media to do many other things. So you know, we should be portrayed to do good things, and this is obviously something good that can be done.
Halal as well.
Yeah, it's something halal.
You can do it in a halal way. You know, there's no.
It's something that's halal. It's something that raises awareness. It's raising funds. But obviously, the other thing is the perk side of doing all this training is you actually get to be out in the hills and the countryside and adore something beautiful, the creation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
The contemplation side as well of like looking at Allah's creation and understanding that I'm just this minute, you know,
speck in the universe,
amongst all these like. You know, high mountains, you know.
And when you actually step away from like your busy life and actually just go out into the countryside, it is so beautiful. It's like we almost forget to stop and pause and look at other creation.
Puts things into perspective, isn't it? You know.
And we do. When we're out hiking and we're training, we reflect a lot. I think one of the hikes we were out and there was on a normal day you wouldn't notice a bee, and we just noticed the bee taking some pollen, and we were just saying that look at the beauty of it, that the horses, the bees and everything else that's out in the countryside or where we're hiking knows its purpose. It's out doing its job. But then we're here like lost souls hiking for entertainment or you know for health or to teach ourselves. But we as humans are the one thing that know our purpose the least.
Yes.
But everything else around us,
most, you know, intellect.
Yeah. You know, but down to the mountain, to the rocks, to the stream, every single thing knew its purpose. Come sun, come rain, come
shine. It was doing it without any problems.
Doing ibadat of Allah. Everything's doing dhikr of Allah. It's only us that have forgotten.
That's right.
Yeah, and you really grow that appreciation for them kind of small things. Really grow when you're out training.
So that brings me to the question, like, what hardships have, like, us as women had to face while doing the training? So we've got one that time. You know, time has been such a big thing. You know, taking that time out, having that time to go out and train. You know, making sure that we've given that time to actually get ourselves physically fit, but mentally fit as well.
I think for me, I didn't even start training until I finished my exams. So I just finished my exams like at the end of July, because that's another stress in itself, and fitting training around that was difficult.
But that's it. It's like we're either students, we're either mothers, you know, we're either full-time workers, you know. So it is difficult. But I think we've managed all right so far, haven't we? You know, with time, you've got to make that time, and you've got to really prioritise.
That's the thing, though. For it, that if you want to do something, there is time available, but you're the one who has to find that time in your schedule to do it.
Definitely.
I've been told we've got a live call coming in.
Oh, got a live call.
Oh, the call's gone. Sorry, we've lost the call. If you call back, inshallah.
We've got another call coming in actually.
Do we
go?
Yes, he's through now.
Hello.
No, I think it's dropped. I think we're having some technical difficulties.
Oh, she'll call again in a minute.
She'll call again, inshallah.
So let's carry on with the hardships. So we've just spoken about time.
Yeah,
putting that time in.
I think the other thing what people don't realise with the time is that it's not just, we can't just sign up for this challenge and in September go and do it. It's a lot of time that goes into it. There's a lot of time that goes into planning these events. There's a lot of time that goes into training for these events. Like even your training, it can't just be once a week. It's got to be 2-3 times a week, 4 times a week, and it's you know, it's a mix of, like, we've had to educate ourselves. There's a lot of time that's gone into education. Like I've had to educate myself on vitamins and minerals and supplements and
carbs,
you know,
and diets.
Carbs and diets.
How many diets have we been on?
And cardio and you know, strength building exercises.
What's the best exercises for climbing up a mountain? You know,
and pain relief. I've had to train myself. I've had to educate myself. Spend time
on best pain relief.
On best pain relief methods.
I'm sure you can have a nice massage once you're done. When you're done, put yourself in for a nice body massage and you'll be right. So another thing, like recently, like obviously we're in a heat wave at the moment.
Yeah.
How's that affected your training? You know, because I think
it is difficult pushing yourself to go to the gym, and I usually go for a walk every day, but I'm lucky in the sense that the walking track that I go on is all shaded.
Okay.
So I've been alright.
I've just been like, I'm not doing any walking in this heat. Unless you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, like you.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
Psycho,
what we've been doing is to try and avoid the heat or the heat wave. Is we've been getting up and going for training at 6 o'clock in the morning. And that in itself is a mighty challenge. But I mean, even then, our training
If I just stop you there, we've got a live call coming through.
Yeah.
Assalamualaikum. Walaikum salam.
Is it Sister Aisha?
It's Sister Aisha, yeah. Who's calling?
It's Tyra. We're driving on the motorway and we thought we'd ring to support you guys.
Oh, Sister Tyra, you did your training?
But actually I'm in the car, so there's no training going on, but we really wanted to be a part of it. We've been watching you guys.
Oh,
you're doing really, really well. And it's almost like I'm feeling exactly what you guys are going through, the pain of walking and talking, and some of the things that I just mentioning. I'm like, I remember speaking about that.
Well, we were just talking about we were just talking about the weather. And you actually got a heat stroke, didn't you, Sister Tyra?
I think I had all kinds of strokes. The heat stroke was because of the heat, and then when it was raining, I remember seizing up because of the rain. I think all kinds of the different weather has been like really good in terms of training. It's hard, but really good in terms of training us because you don't know what the weather's going to be like on the day. So when it's raining, your body reacts differently. When it's hot, your body reacts differently. I think I might be the one who complains the most of they mentioned about my heat stroke.
No, but that's it. We've like pushed our bodies through all these different elements so that on the day we're ready and we'll know how to react to them weather conditions.
Absolutely, and with anything that comes in, you put in the effort, the rest is up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I mean, we can never fully prepare ourselves. We don't know what we're going to be in which state, but person can put in the effort for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, the money I was just discussing with Sister Sophia, she's with me, she's driving with me. So I was just telling her that we've raised this much money and, you know, look at the great cause it's going to go to. So it makes it all worthwhile.
Definitely.
You know, all of the difficulties, the hardship, the pain, the heat stroke, you know, all of them things, it makes it worthwhile because you know the great cause it's going to go to.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for calling in, Sister Tyra.
No worries. Jazakallah khair.
Take care.
Yo, it's Lily.
Take care. Love this. Oh, mashallah. So that was Sister Tyra on the call there. She's one of the sisters that is actually
going to
taking part in the challenge. She was just saying that a few weeks ago that she got a heat stroke. Poor thing. But this is the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Our bodies are going to go through all these changes, you know, and we have to prepare.
Yeah,
you know, we can't say, oh, it's raining, I'm not going out training because it might be raining on the day.
No, come rain, come shine, we've been going out, and that's been a challenge as well, to actually mentally prepare yourself to say. I mean, we wake up at 6 o'clock, not even 6. We wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and honestly, we sit there.
Can't wake up at that time.
We sit there thinking, should we use the rain as an excuse to cancel? Should we use the heat as an excuse to cancel? And then You know, even sometimes we're en route and we think, should we cut it short now because we're getting tired? And
that's your mental. That's your That's the thing, innit? You have to be mentally strong. Your body can do anything
if you put your mind to it.
If your mind is there, you know what I mean. So.
But when we're training, like to keep ourselves motivated, we remind ourselves constantly of why we're doing it, the purpose of life, and we think about like all those people that are worse off than us. So like when we were hiking one day, it was really hot. We were all like, oh God, we're thirsty. And then we thought, well, you know what? We're still carrying 2 litres of cold water that we brought from home in our backpacks. And then we remembered, and I think the brothers played a clip Aisha about Aisha, who walks about 8 miles to collect water, and that water's not even clean. She can't even drink it, and we still had clean water on us to quench our thirst.
We knew you know in your mind that I have clean water here.
Yeah, and it was readily available. When we were saying that, and I think we were only about 2-3 miles in, and we were dying of thirst, and we've come from home where we've got taps as well.
Yeah, but Saika, 2 miles is a long way. You know when you're walking.
Yeah.
You know, and then when you ask, oh, how many miles have I done, and say like, you know, oh, we've done 2 miles, and you're like, oh my gosh, I've walked so far, but you don't realise.
So I mean, the other thing is like Aisha just mentioned, the reality of distance. One thing I've learned is a mile is a big thing. You know, to not undermine the mile.
Don't undermine the mile.
Don't undermine the mile. You know, 1 mile is a big thing. So you know when you go out and you say, before you think, someone goes, oh yeah, I've gone for a walk. It was a mile. You think, a mile? What's a mile?
But
now, honestly, I appreciate that mile. 1 mile is a big thing.
So how have you been getting on with your training, and what's been going on with you?
It's been difficult because inshallah I'm getting married soon as well, so planning the wedding.
Well, that's another time thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a lot, and like we were talking about before, the weather has not been helpful. But it is helpful having all the sisters being all motivators, and the fact that they're all really quite supportive.
So have you been going to the gym, or have you actually been going out?
I've been doing a bit of both, but it's mostly gym.
Yeah.
The Stairmaster's been my enemy.
No, change that mindset. It's been your best friend. That's your best friend at the moment.
But yeah, I think timing is probably one of the biggest factors that making time for it. Like if I'm not going early in the morning, then I'm going late at night, but I'm making sure that I'm doing it every day.
So we'll go on to childcare now, because you know, like there's a lot of mothers that are taking part in this challenge. I think over half of us are mothers.
Yeah.
You know, we've got young children. Some have got like really young children, babies. You know, so.
How's it been for them?
How has it been for you?
I mean, I call them the unsung heroes, because there's a number of people that are helping on this challenge that don't even realise they're helping us, and that's the nannies, the daddies, the dads, the older brothers and sisters that are keeping the kids, aunties, uncles, all those people that are keeping the kids, so that the sisters like myself and yourself, who are mothers, who are doing the challenge, can go out and actually train for the challenge. So I mean, for myself and the other sisters who I train with, like Sister Noshi and Sister Tyra, we've got children, and every morning, even if we're going out at 6 o'clock in the morning, it's on the back of your mind that your children are at home, asleep in bed. You want someone to be there when they wake up, make them breakfast.
You know the dads will do it, but it's just that it's still that mindset, isn't it, that I'm not there when they wake up.
And then the other thing is, obviously, when we actually go for the challenge, we're all leaving our kids behind. So that's where, you know, like I said, the unsung heroes are coming in, the nannies, the daddies, who are going to babysit the children over the weekend. And, you know, many people ask.
One more minute. We've got another live call coming in.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome, Salam. It's Farah speaking.
Farah, another one of our participants.
Oh, another participant.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum. How's everybody?
How you doing?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, good. Just watching you guys on the podcast, and as soon as you said childcare, I had to jump in there.
Well, you did spring to mind, because you've got young children, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I've got 3 children, alhamdulillah, but it's really difficult with full-time work. and the kids and childcare, and it's like I'm climbing up with my husband. So we want to try and do training together, but I can't because it's like, well, you keep the kids and I'll go walking, or you go in the morning. And I do have my mum and my mother-in-law near me, which is amazing, and they do help. But I'd rather get stuff done really early in the morning while the kids are sleeping.
Yeah, that's
especially I think training in the morning is like best, and then you've got the whole day with the kids. But it's just hard because, you know, they wake up late, the mums and stuff like that, so it's hard to give them, so it's like we have to split it between me and my husband.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but alhamdulillah, I'm really, really looking forward to it. I can't believe it's only like less than 3 weeks left and I'm stressing out.
That's what we were saying, there's less than 3 weeks, we really need to get that training in.
Yeah, no, I just said, right, I said to my husband, like, that's it now. During the week, obviously we're working, try and go out in the evenings, or the next weekend, just put in some big mileage, like 10-mile walks now, that's it. If you've done 1 or 2, then you're more comfortable and you're more like, right, you know, geared up to do it. Like, yes, inshallah, we'll make it. But yeah, no, we're really looking forward to it. It'll be really good to have. And the cause, you know, the fact, and the thing is, I said to my husband, like, every time I'm going out and training, it's like I'm being swabbed for it, because you're doing it for a maqsad, isn't it? Like, you're doing it for a cause, so it just makes you, motivates you even more. So yeah, no, alhamdulillah, really looking forward to it, and I love listening to the podcast. Kids are listening, and it's really good. Well done.
Sister Farah, whilst we've got you on, can I just ask, it's the first time you're doing something like this, and you never knew much about the Barg Welfare Trust, so why is it specifically that you chose this charity? Because I know your brother used to work with some other charities, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, it's just because of Sister Saika. Because I know you, and I think, you know, you kind of introduced me to the Barg Welfare Trust. And obviously I 100% trust you and the work that they're doing, and the more you've introduced, the more things that you've sent me, like they're doing this, they're doing that. And it's a huge charity, and it's the fact what they are doing. It's not just for one cause, like so many things that they're providing. And all of the fund is going completely towards helping the poor people, but in any way. So whether it's medical, whether it's food, or whether it's, you know, helping the women and supporting them, is just amazing. And the other thing is, women never get to do this. No other charity that I've always wanted to do this, but no other charity gives women that chance. It's always you see the men that are like out there and doing all this sort of stuff. And I just think this is amazing, an amazing opportunity for the women to say that, you know, we can do it as well. We want to do it as well. Yes, we have children. Yes, we have work. Yes, we have, but we can make time. And like the sister was saying, like, you make time for what you want to make time for. So, alhamdulillah, really looking forward to it.
And that's the thing, isn't it? It's like you make that time, and mashallah, you've made time with your husband. You know, with your husband, and you've got that good sort of like routine.
Yeah.
You know, where you're getting that training in, and you're able to do that. Oh, mashallah.
Yeah, and the fact that my husband supporting me in that, and if he hadn't, like, I wouldn't been able to. So alhamdulillah for that. So that's, you know, and the thing is, it's something we're doing together. We're like passing ships in the night. Like, we just don't see each other because of the work and kids. So this is nice to get away, do something together, but do it for amazing cause as well. So it's like ticking quite a few boxes here.
Yeah, mashallah, that's really good.
So good, yeah. Well, I'll leave you guys to it, and I'll chat to you soon.
So, Sister Farah, inshallah, this will be your first of many then, we hope.
Oh, definitely, inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. Inshallah. Jazakallah, thank you for calling.
Oh, thank you. Allah Hafiz. Allah
Hafiz.
So just Arafa, your dad obviously works quite heavily in the background with the Barg Welfare Trust. He's one of the blessed trustees who make some of the great executive decisions, and obviously one of the people who come up with the Poverty Relief Fund. So maybe yourself could tell us a bit more about some of the where the money's going to go for poverty relief.
Yeah, so it's the actual scope of the charity that I think attracts a lot of people. It's not just providing shelter and food for people, which is what a lot of other charities advertise. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing or something that people don't need, but it's very broad. But it's the specific projects that kind of attract other people in. So like the eye camps. So it's providing people. So you look at an eye test, and as an optometrist, I know that an eye test, you don't think of it as a big deal because people just pop in and just have a quick eye test, and you don't think of it as like a big thing at all. It's just something that an appointment that you go to, but in so many countries that's not available, and you can find so much out just from your eyes. So people have like eye diseases and things, we refer people to the hospital. You can find out things about diabetes like your other general health problems just from an eye test. And so that specific project is something that I'm quite passionate about. That specific project is like just one of many that we do. So you've got the eye test, you've got the collective marriages, and the marriages are.
So if I can cut you there, we've got another live call coming.
Mashallah, so many live calls.
Mashallah. Salam alaikum. Oh, I think they've gone. Salam alaikum.
We'll carry on.
So carry on, sister.
Yeah, so just talking about the marriages is you're just...
she's back.
Oh, salam alaikum. Hello. Yeah, just carry on, sister.
So the marriages, you're not just...
Hello.
Hello, salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, sister.
What's your name?
I'm someone.
You're someone.
Well, we've worked out who it is, but we won't mention the name now. We've worked out who it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Jazakallah. Basically, I just want to say to yourselves that we are really, really proud of yourself, what you're doing. It's beyond my anything that I can do myself. And yourself are doing it. You're a mother, obviously. You have husbands, and besides that, you're doing this. Beyond my imagination. So well done, girls. MashaAllah.
Jazakallah, and thank you, sister. I won't mention your name, sister someone.
For the support.
For the support, because it's. I think we have that support from all the sisters.
Exactly, and that goes to show that the teacher does not just teach us the men; it's also for the women, and how much they encourage the sisters, just like the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did. And today in today's days, this is lacking. Wherever you go, you see all these men doing things, and not the sisters. And here in the Tariqa Muhammadiyah, you see every aspect of the activity. The sisters are involved. Not only involved, they are leading it. And this is a fine example of what yourself are doing.
Leading in different events and activities that are taking place.
We're definitely leading with more live calls than the brothers. I'll get that one in. So we're definitely championing on that one.
I think the donations as well.
Oh yeah, and donations
as well,
just to note, sisters have raised a lot more money than brothers, as well as awareness. Not that I'm trying to get any brownie points here, but no.
But that's what it's about, isn't it? It's about the donations and raising awareness.
Yeah.
Okay, Jazakallah, sisters.
Jazakallah. Thanks so much.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I think coming back to that point you mentioned at the start as to why is it important that sisters do this challenge, or why is it good that sisters, I think many sisters have answered that it's helped in raising the awareness. And so many more sisters in Tariqa Muhammadiyah and all the stems of the charity are more aware of the challenge, because as we know, women like to talk. So when we sat down and we're talking about this, it's dawah. When we're talking about our pains and our struggles and all those, like we said, all those people who are involved in helping us.
We've got another caller coming through. Sorry, sister.
Yeah, sorry.
Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Hello, salam alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Who's calling? Oh, I recognise that voice.
How you doing?
Alhamdulillah. How are you, Sister Rihanna?
Well, I could not ring and wish you all the best of luck. Mashallah, you guys are doing such a fantastic job. All this hard work and training to do this woman versus mountain challenge. Aisha, you're rocking that pink top, by the way.
Do you like it?
I do. It looks really good. But well done. And 100% I agree. The sacrifices that you guys are making that other people aren't seeing. With the family, the kids, juggling housework. Even like I was saying, she's getting married, she's working. And may Allah accept all your hard work and effort, and
May He accept everything that you're doing. And whoever is watching, please, please, please donate. Even if it's £1, it will make such a big difference. We are trying to make a difference to the poverty situation out there. And whatever you can contribute, come on, let's motivate these sisters. This is the first time they're doing it. And we are all, the 3 sisters are sending our love, our du'as, and our, we're cheering you on in the background.
Yeah. But that's what it is. It's about, that's what it is. It's like a bond. It's something that's bonding us all together. Yeah. Because we know we have that support from the sisters in the background. Yeah. From all the TM family.
100%. Well, I don't even look at WhatsApp statuses, but I'm checking you guys when you go on hiking and see how you're doing. Keep posting them status so that everyone's part of your journey, because we do want to be part of his journey, and we want to be there to celebrate it and mark it when. And inshallah, you guys you're gonna smash it out.
Inshallah. And hopefully, Sister Rihanna, you'll be joining on the next challenge.
Inshallah, Allah wills, and I'm able to do it. Of course, I would love to do it. I'm so gutted this time because of health. I can't do it, but inshallah, I would definitely. I would love to do something.
Inshallah. Thanks so much, Sister Rihanna, for calling.
Okay. Love you guys.
Love you too. Kaviz.
Bye.
Sister Alfred, do you want to finish about the projects you were mentioning?
Yeah, so one of the projects that my dad actually sent me pictures of in Pakistan was one of the collective marriages. Yeah. And when I first heard about it, I thought it was just helping people get married, but it's also helping them kickstart their life off. So they're provided with a complete pack. They're provided with like beds, storage, food like oil, rice, flour, things like that, to kind of cushion their way into married life, because it is that first part that is quite hard. So you're not just like helping them get married and leaving them on their own. They still have that connection to the charity afterwards as well.
Definitely. So if I stop you there, if we can play the video. And just about it's the training video, so video 2. If we can have that playing, then they can see how much effort that the sisters are going that we're putting into training.
I need you, oh I need you, every hour I need you, my one defense, my righteousness, Allah, how I need you. Allah, I need you, oh I need you, every hour I need you, my one.
Okay, so Assalamu alaikum. So as you can see, we've got a caller coming in, so if we just take that call first of all, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
You're very faint.
Say that again, sorry.
You're very faint. We can hardly hear you.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me now? Is that better?
Slightly better.
Slightly better.
It's Sister Amreen.
Oh, mashallah.
I just thought I'll give you guys should I say a quick call, just as a call of support for all the great work that you've been doing.
Jazakallah. And it does make a difference, when you know that you've got that support from like I said before, from the sisters, mashallah.
And to yourself as well, really, Sister Amreen, because you're again one of them unsung heroes. Yes. You're one of them people like myself and Sister Isa, who's joined us, who work in the background on administration, so we're not really usually up front. So yourself have a big part to play in this as well, in terms of the Bog Welfare Trust and Poverty Relief, the Poverty Relief Fund. So it's a blessing to have you ring in, really, as well, because again, you're one of the people who's hidden away. You don't really get any credit for what you do.
You've done a lot, mashallah.
Not that anyone really takes any of these roles.
Everything that we do
you know, from the blessings of the teacher. At the end of the day, you know, if we didn't get to know the teacher, Sheikh Ahmed Dabar, we wouldn't be helping in the background, or, you know, you sisters doing this great work. And, you know, climbing a mountain is no easy job, and I've done Snowdon before, and I know how difficult it is. And I said to myself when I got to the top, I'll never do it again, but always happy to support people doing
Never
it.
say never. Never say never, sister, I mean.
But, you know, it's fantastic, you know, and it always reminds me of the time when, let's say, the Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha used to climb the mountain to give food to our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So who says women can't climb mountains when the greatest of women did? So for me, that's a big, you know, it's a blessing, you know, seeing you sisters doing this great work. So I just wanted to give my support to you all, and I pray it goes well, inshallah, in September.
Inshallah. Keep us in your dua, Sister Amri.
Inshallah. Take care.
Jazakallah.
All right.
Thank you for calling.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. So, mashallah, we've been joined by Sister Isa. So, Sister Isa, if you want to just introduce yourself and why you're part of.
So I'm Isa. I've been helping Sister Saika do a lot of the admin work. So we've been working a lot in the background, you know, getting to know our participants, you know, on doing like, you know, on the trip. So obviously on the trip we're going to be doing like travelling there and making sure they're welfare and they're happy there, and feeding them good the day before and then feeding them whatever they want the day after. Making sure.
But it's all the paperwork as well that you have to do as well,
yeah,
isn't it?
especially with their welfare, especially, you know, making sure, you know, they're taking them health and safety measures, which is obviously vital in these type of challenges. Yeah, so we've been working together.
Mashallah. You know, good team there, isn't it? Yeah. Got good...
I mean, Sister Isa, bless her, is one of our Jamia students, so she's one of our Alama students in the academy. So this is a first for her in the sense of being part of an administrative role, and she was thrown in the deep end because she wasn't started off with a small
you
event.
You participated at the beginning, weren't you?
Yeah,
you were.
Yeah, but we don't need to mention that.
So originally she was a participant, but for whatever reason she couldn't continue. So to be part of the blessing, she continued as an administration, and so she's still part of this big blessing, really, and that's what these events are about. It's about people still being able to be part of it. So and one of the reasons to bring Sister Isa on was to showcase the amount of people that work in the background. You know, there's myself, there's another brother who manages the brothers, and then, you know, Isa's my admin assistant, and then there's other people.
Do you like you crack the whip and she does
gets on with it. I think all the participants might hate me actually, because I'm constantly texting, hey, do this and this. So I'm also, you know, trying to get to know the participants and making sure they're all motivated. Because obviously motivation's a big thing in this. You know, people can be.
Your key role is communication. Communication is the key with any event, with any task, whatever it is.
But I think admins have one of the biggest roles, because they have to make sure that everything's running like clockwork behind the scenes, for everything to fall into place, and for everything to work on the day. You know, it's not just a bit of paperwork here, you know, it's a lot.
There's a lot of logistics, a lot of paperwork going on behind the scenes. That we're trying to fill in, chase people up.
But it's not just like paperwork. So like one of Isa's key jobs is like to make sure everyone stays motivated. So like we have had like phone calls where people ring up and say, I think I might drop out, I don't think I can meet my fundraising target, you know, and that's some of the struggles that admins have to put up with.
That's right.
And so you know, one of the things you did was you brainstormed a few fundraising ideas.
Yeah, you need to get motivated, because obviously you know, fundraising is, you need to actively fundraise, obviously it is key, but some people need the idea to fundraise. It's all good and well asking people, oh, please can you fundraise, I'm going to climb a mountain.
But you've got to have them ideas. Different ideas of how to fundraise. It's not just, can you know, just give us your money. You've got to use your initiative and have different ideas.
But the sisters have done really well in that. They've been doing, like Sister Arifa did a bake sale.
She did a bake sale,
and then
we did the Mendy.
The Mendy, I think Sister Smiley did that.
We did the Mendy, and then we had sweets
sweets, sweet cones, So just trying to throw out some ideas out there so the sisters can use different ideas and different ways to fundraise.
And again, it's raising that awareness, isn't it?
And through doing things like this,
that's how you do raise up that awareness. We've got some comments on the on our YouTube channel. So, mashallah, amazing work, sister. Can't wait for the hike weekend. That's from Shamma. Also, there is a time limit. So we've got a question here. So someone says that also there is a time limit. So are you up against the time?
Yes, 100%. We are up against the times. So this was something that hit us as a bullet in the head. We were like, oof.
So you can't just take your time on this one, girls.
It's not only do we have to do 22 miles, including a mountain climb, we also have to do it against the clock. So we all will start the race at 8 o'clock in the morning. By midday, we have had to have covered the first 8 miles, and if we have not covered the first 8 miles, we will be. It's called sweeped. We'll get sweeped off the course.
Booted out. That's it. That's the one.
So inshallah, fingers crossed. We think we all will do that.
Yeah. But that's included in your training, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you've been working towards those time frames.
Yeah. We've been building that into our training. And then the second one is by 4 p.m. we have to have covered 18 miles, and then obviously by 6 p.m. we have had to have finished the whole 22 miles. So anyone who thinks this is a walk in the park, in reality it's not. Even the fittest of people and people who are a lot better health than us, they're giving them 10 hours. They're giving us 10-hour window to complete this challenge.
It's going to be like a constant 9 hours walking. 9-10 hours walking.
I mean, to put it into perspective, when we're going out training now, when we go at 6 in the morning, the other day we did 16 miles in 6 hours, and we were just pit stopping with 1 or 2 minute breaks. We were literally eating on the go. And we had movement time of 5.5 hours. So
we've got a live call. We've got a live call coming in. Sorry, I keep going. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Who's calling, please?
Sister Tabassum calling.
Another participant.
How is everybody?
How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Yes, you're doing a really amazing job, mashallah, raising awareness. And apologies, I'm not able to be with you.
Oh no, inshallah. You're with us in spirit, Sister Tabassum.
Yes. Yes, so I just wanted to really give my bit of a view on everything, just let everybody know how it's a very, very difficult challenge. People might not know. Obviously, we working mothers, we've got young children, and like Sister Saika has mentioned, it is very, very tough, and especially for us women, it's very difficult to find childcare sometimes, to try and fit in your training. But it is, what I would say, from my experience, is we have to, I think for women especially, is we have to come out of our comfort zone. And this is a very difficult thing for me to do because it's really not in my comfort zone. So, but yes, once I think we're out of that comfort zone that we're in, it does become easier, and especially when you're out there and you've got all the other sisters there with their own backgrounds and their own, their own story to say, it just becomes so much easier. And I've done the hike with some sisters, I think it was in Bolton, and the time, I just couldn't believe how quick the time went because we were talking to every single sister that was there, and it passed by really, really quickly. And again, I think it is the blessings of our teachers and, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that it went really, really quickly, and I'm hoping on the day of the hike that will happen the same. But yes, it's really challenging, and I'm really looking forward to it, definitely, yes.
Inshallah. Jazakallah, thank you for calling in.
Thank you. Loads of love to you all.
Inshallah, you too. Keep training hard. Yeah.
That's a really nice thing about the company. you know, people have really created a nice bond and strong bonds with one another, especially in the women's side. They've, you know, the women have got to know each other and, you know, formed a friendship as well. And, you know, they've made arrangements to go on walks together and plan a day out together to, you know, specifically go on a walk and have that company. It's really nice that it's created, you know, that bond and friendship that, you know, you can keep forever through this type of, you know, through this challenge. It's a lovely thing.
And you know, that's going to be so important when we're out there doing the challenge, and like one of us is going to want to quit or give up, and the sisters are going to be egging each other on. They're going to be like, no, we're in it as a team. Let's do it together. So that is actually like, you know, and that kind of unity and bond between sisters is something which is going to be irreplaceable, because it's not like a bond, a natural bond that you're born with. This person's not blood related to you. They're not, you know, related to you as your brother or sister or a cousin or through marriage. These are people that you've got a bond with through the purpose. That's right. That blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that in an essence is a bond which is stronger.
It's through Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we, for Allah's sake, isn't it? That is bringing you close together through Allah's sake.
It's more of a pure bond.
More of a bond, more of a pure bond, like you said. So inshallah, we'll have to wrap it up.
All right, okay.
So
that was a quick 45 minutes.
That was a quick 45 minutes.
Better get home, make them chapatis.
I was waiting for my cup of tea and my biscuits.
No, guys, we're healthy eating before the challenge.
We were joking about this before the podcast.
Got a live call coming in. One last live call, please. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, Sister Aisha, how are you?
Alhamdulillah. Who's on the call?
It's Sister Fazana from Oldham Stroke, Birmingham.
Assalamu alaikum, Sister Fazana, mashallah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. How are you, sisters? More the question.
I think we're all we're in good spirits. We're in good spirits,
Oh, good stuff. I just wanted to say it's amazing. MashaAllah, you have children and families, and you're taking the time out to do this amazing work. I'm just sitting here watching you guys thinking, where did they find the time? But it's absolutely amazing. You know, well done to you, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your efforts and all the good work you're doing. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and us to get up and do something as well.
No, but that's it. That's, you know, and that's what we're trying to do, innit? Trying to motivate each other sisters, so that inshallah they'll help and they'll support in the next challenge.
Inshallah. I don't know about the jumping off mountains and swimming. I'll keep out that one. But yeah, no, it's amazing, and really just wanted to, similar sister, we just wanted to say, call of support, and inshallah, pray it all goes well for you, Sister Saika, and all the sisters involved, inshallah.
Yeah, keep supporting.
Yeah, of course, inshallah. Look after yourself, sisters. Okay, that's it. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah. So we'll play one last video now.
Yeah.
You know, the reason why we're doing this challenge, and then we'll wrap it up then. Is that all right? Yeah.
Inshallah.
سبيل مريح تنهد يا صاحي كي تستريح وبث الدعاء الخفي الصريح يسعك الفضاء الرحيب الفسيح جمال الوجود بذكر سبيل الدموع سبيل مريح تنهد يا صاحي كي تستريح وبث الدعاء الخفي الصريح يسعك الفضاء الرحيب الفسيح سبيل الدموع سبيل مريح تنهد يا صاحي كي تستريح وبث الدعاء الخفي الصريح يسعك الفضاء الرحيب الفسيح جمال الوجود بذكر سبيل.
So mashallah, is there any last words that you wanna finish off with? 30 seconds?
I mean, I was going to say we could sit here talking all night, but we've got to get home and make the chapatis. You know, part of our mother duties. Get home and get the curry on. So But that's the reality of it. Even doing this thing like this podcast is a blessing. But again, it's time sisters are taken out to do it, and for us, many of us, it was the first time we did it, and alhamdulillah, it's been really nice to have so many sisters ring in and support us, and for really to people understand the immensity of this challenge. But just a quick one, because I know we're running late already, is that many sisters have mentioned that give us the blessings for being part of this, but every single sister can be a part of this, and whether that's through a donation or whether it's helping sisters emotionally, mentally, physically through this, whether it's donating food, whether it's being there, there's many ways that people can help.
Even support with childcare. If we're struggling with childcare,
anyone who wants to come forward as a free crash, we're ready with children at hand. But there's many ways that sisters and brothers can contribute to these events and challenges, and all you've got to do is ring up and ask. And there's so many things. I mean, like Isa's a classic example. She couldn't take part in the challenge, but she's still part of the blessing because she's helped with her skill set. And one of the things our teachers always taught us is that it's not about money, it's about the ability and the skill you have.
And whatever skill you can bring to the table.
Whatever skill or ability you have, use it in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what I would say to you is it doesn't matter what skill set you've got, come forward with it. That we will find you a place to help. People don't know there's Ibrahim and there's Maryam, two young kids who they're just good at TikTok and making these clips, and they've been helping us because that was their contribution. They couldn't take part in the challenge.
Awareness, and I think that's one of the biggest things.
So really whatever it is, if you're not sure you've got a skill set, you don't know how to use it, you come approach any of the administration in Tariqa Muhammadiyah, the Bag Welfare Trust. We'll tell you where you can use it.
That's what you did for me. We had when I first started having my class first year, and I had first conversation with you, and we had a few conversations, and we were all up for
everyone's up for helping forward.
Coming forward, and that's what we want. We just want sisters to come forward and bring their skill sets to the table, and we can make this a massive thing, and hopefully we can help fight poverty. We won't be able to end it, but we can relieve it.
Definitely.
And inshallah, through your help, through your support, and what skill sets, like Sister Saika mentioned, you can bring to the table, inshallah, we can help the Bag Welfare Trust to grow, and then inshallah help relieve poverty all over the world, inshallah. So I think we'll finish off there, inshallah. So assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.